My name is Kirby Covington, and I never imagined I would die at the age of 33. As a trauma nurse in Portland, I had faced death countless times in my career, but experiencing it firsthand shattered everything I thought I understood about life, death, and the unknown that follows. I had always been someone who trusted in science and evidence-based facts, dismissing near-death experiences as nothing more than hallucinations from a dying brain. However, what happened to me was unlike anything I had ever encountered. It was vivid, real, and undeniable. It changed my perspective on existence forever. It began on what seemed to be an ordinary Tuesday morning at Riverbend General Hospital. The emergency department was unusually calm, one of those rare quiet stretches that felt like the calm before a storm. I had started my shift at 6 a.m. and was attending to a teenage patient with a broken arm later that morning. The monitors hummed their steady rhythms, and sunlight poured through the windows, creating soft patterns on the hospital floor. Everything felt routine, safe, predictable. Then, out of nowhere, it happened. A crushing pain erupted in my chest, as though an invisible vice had clamped around me. It was excruciating, sharper and more intense than anything I had ever felt. Instinctively, I reached out to steady myself on the wall, but my hand never made contact. The last thing I heard was the panicked cries of my patient as I collapsed to the floor, and then everything went dark. I later learned that I had suffered a massive pulmonary embolism, a blood clot that had traveled to my lungs. The doctors informed me that it was caused by a previously undiagnosed clotting disorder that I'd unknowingly carried since birth. For nearly 5 minutes, I was clinically dead. But during those 5 minutes, I experienced something so profound that it forever reshaped my understanding of life, death, and the journey of the soul. The first thing I became aware of after the darkness was a peculiar floating sensation. I found myself looking down at my own body sprawled lifelessly on the hospital floor. The scene below was chaos. My colleagues, who I'd worked with for years, were fighting desperately to save me. Dr. Harris, the head of emergency medicine, was performing chest compressions, his usual composure replaced by grim determination. My best friend and fellow nurse, Emily, stood at the ready with the defibrillator, her hands steady but her face streaked with tears. I wanted to reassure them, to tell them I was okay, that the pain was gone and I was enveloped by an indescribable peace. But no words came. I could only watch as they shouted commands and worked frantically to bring me back. Defib, clear, push 1 of AP. It felt surreal, as if I were watching a dramatic scene unfold on television, only I was both the observer and the patient. What struck me most in that moment wasn't fear but the complete absence of it. Despite seeing my own lifeless body on the floor, I felt no anxiety or dread. Instead, a profound sense of calm and peace washed over me. Every worry, every stress I had carried in life melted away. I felt as though I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Then something shifted. I felt myself being drawn away from the hospital room, pulled into what looked like a tunnel filled with light. The sensation of movement was incredibly fast, yet it felt entirely natural. The light grew brighter and brighter, but instead of being harsh, it was warm and welcoming, like returning home after a long journey. As I moved through the tunnel, I began to notice something extraordinary. My thoughts became sharper, clearer, and more profound. I suddenly understood concepts and truths that had always eluded me in life. It was as though I had been viewing the world through a foggy lens, and now the lens had been wiped clean. Emerging from the tunnel, I found myself in a realm that defies earthly description. The colors were more vibrant than anything I'd ever seen, hues that don't even exist in our physical reality. The air seemed alive with music, a harmonious melody that filled me with awe. But the most remarkable part was realizing I no longer had a physical body. I existed purely as consciousness, as awareness. And then I saw him. Jesus stood before me, though not as he is traditionally depicted in religious art. His presence was both majestic and deeply familiar. He radiated a love so powerful and unconditional that I felt as though I fell to my knees, though I had no body to kneel with. His light was blindingly bright yet soothing, and his eyes held an infinite wisdom and compassion that made me feel completely known and entirely loved. "Kirby," he said gently, though his voice wasn't audible in the way we know it. It was more like a thought transmitted directly into my awareness. There is something you need to see. With a simple gesture, the space around us transformed, and I witnessed truths about the soul and the afterlife that challenged everything I thought I knew. Jesus explained that we were in the third heaven, a transitional realm where souls come immediately after death. It was vast and multidimensional, existing beyond the constraints of time and space as I had known them. This is not the final destination, he told me. It's a place of healing, learning, and preparation for what comes next. He led me through various areas of this realm, each one more breathtaking than the last. Every part had a purpose, serving the souls who resided there. As he explained the purpose of each section, I was overcome with awe and reverence for the intricacies of existence beyond the physical world. It was a place of unimaginable beauty, love, and profound understanding. What I witnessed during those moments will remain with me forever. It was more than an experience. It was a revelation that reshaped how I view life, death, and everything in between. What I experienced shattered everything I believed about death and the afterlife. In the first section, referred to by Jesus as the Gardens of Serenity I saw souls immersed in what looked like a radiant golden light. They appeared deeply at peace, resting or engaged in profound meditation and prayer. Others were simply admiring the indescribable beauty surrounding them. The landscape itself was alive, its vibrant colors and patterns shifting in harmony with the thoughts and emotions of the souls present. These are the souls who lived lives of love and service, Jesus explained. Here they rest and grow in understanding, preparing for the final resurrection. Their earthly existence had been marked by kindness, compassion, and a genuine dedication to helping others. Now they reap the first rewards of those good deeds. I noticed that each soul seemed to emit its own glow, though some shone brighter than others. The brightness, Jesus explained in response to my unspoken question, reflects how much they allowed divine love to work through them during their lives. And even now, their light grows stronger as they deepen their connection to that love. What truly astonished me was the second section, called the Halls of Discovery Here souls were engaged in what Jesus termed divine learning The area was filled with radiant amphitheaters, where newly arrived souls collaborated with advanced beings, teachers of extraordinary wisdom and compassion. I observed souls participating in life reviews not as a form of judgment but as a powerful opportunity for growth and understanding. During these reviews, they relived every action from their earthly lives, seeing not only their perspective but also how their choices impacted others. Every kind word, every selfless act, every moment of love radiated waves of light that echoed across the cosmos. Conversely, cruel words, selfish decisions, and acts of harm sent ripples of darkness through the same fabric. This isn't about punishment, Jesus reassured me, sensing my concern. It's about understanding and evolving. Every soul must see and truly comprehend the impact of their choices to grow and move forward. In one particularly moving moment, I saw a soul reliving an act of kindness, a small but profound gesture. They had given money to a homeless individual, and through the review, they saw how this act had not only provided food for the recipient, but restored their faith in humanity. That renewed hope led the individual to seek help, eventually rebuilding their life and going on to inspire and aid others. The ripple effect of that single kind act had touched countless lives over the years. Conversely, I saw souls facing the consequences of their mistakes. One soul revisited a moment of anger when they had spoken harshly to their child. They not only felt the immediate pain their words had caused, but also saw how that wound influenced the child's relationships and self-worth throughout their life. Yet even in these painful reflections, there was no condemnation, only compassion. Teachers gently guided the soul to understand the root of their anger and how to heal themselves while also working to send healing energy to those they had hurt. Another area brought tears to my eyes, not physical tears as I had no body, but the purest form of emotional release. I saw souls collaborating to assist those still living on earth. These are what humans often call guardian angels, Jesus said. Many of these souls had chosen to remain in this realm to guide and protect the living. Among them, I recognized my grandmother, appearing vibrant and full of love, just as she had been in her prime. She smiled at me, and in an instant, I understood the many ways she had helped our family since her passing. She showed me moments where her presence had brought comfort, standing beside my mother during her battle with cancer, offering strength to my brother on his wedding day, and even guiding my hands during challenging situations in the emergency room. Her thoughts flowed directly into my consciousness. Every prayer is heard, every moment of need is known. While we can't always prevent hardships, because challenges are essential for growth, we can send love, strength, and guidance. And sometimes we can even help steer choices or prevent accidents. But free will must always be respected. The most eye-opening part of this journey was witnessing what Jesus called the chambers of healing. These were not physical spaces but states of being, where souls burdened by deep wounds, trauma, anger, fear, or addiction were being gently healed by beings of pure light. This is what human religions often misunderstand, Jesus said. No soul is ever beyond redemption. Even those who lived the darkest lives have the capacity for transformation. Love is the most powerful force in existence, and divine love can heal even the deepest wounds. I watched as souls who had committed terrible acts on earth underwent profound healing. This was not punishment, it was rehabilitation through pure love. They faced the truth of their actions, feeling the full impact of the pain they had caused. Yet they were surrounded by compassion and divine support. The healing process varied. Some souls needed to experience the consequences of their choices fully, while others required reconnection with the love they had shut out during their earthly lives. Still others had to address their own trauma before they could begin to make amends for the harm they had inflicted on others. In this realm, communication occurred through pure thought and emotion. No words were necessary. I witnessed reunions between souls separated by death, moments of profound forgiveness between those who had been enemies in life, and an undeniable sense of unity that transcended earthly relationships. Every interaction was grounded in truth, as deception was impossible in this place. Through it all, I realized that time as we understand it did not exist here. Healing and growth that might seem to take centuries on earth could occur in what felt like mere moments in this realm. Every soul progresses at their own pace, Jesus explained. The journey is uniquely theirs, guided by love and supported by divine wisdom. This experience redefined everything I thought I understood about existence, love, and redemption. Even those who had lived the darkest lives carried the potential for profound transformation. Jesus explained that love is the most powerful force in existence, capable of healing even the deepest wounds. I saw souls who had committed terrible acts on earth undergoing intense yet compassionate healing. This process wasn't about punishment, it was about restoration and growth through divine love. These souls faced the full truth of their actions, experiencing the impact of the pain they had caused, yet they were supported by divine understanding and compassion. The healing process varied for each soul. Some needed to fully grasp the consequences of their choices, while others needed to reconnect with the divine love they had rejected during their earthly lives. Still others required healing from their own traumas before they could begin to address the harm they had inflicted on others. Jesus showed me how souls in this realm communicate, not through words but through pure thought and emotion. I witnessed beautiful reunions between family members separated by death. These reunions transcended earthly relationships. Even souls who had been adversaries in life reconciled, as they came to understand the higher purpose behind their earthly conflicts. Time as we know it didn't exist in this realm. What might feel like centuries of healing on earth can happen in moments here, Jesus explained. Every soul progresses at the pace they need. He then revealed something that challenged my understanding of existence. In one area, advanced souls were actively participating in the divine act of creation. These souls have reached a level of growth that allows them to assist in creating new realities, Jesus explained. I watched in awe as these beings worked with pure energy, designing new worlds, life forms, and guiding the evolution of existing realms. Earth is just one school in a vast universe of learning, Jesus said. There are countless realms and dimensions where souls grow and evolve. The physical universe, is only the beginning. Then Jesus showed me a place that broke my heart, an area where souls had chosen to remain in darkness. Unlike the other realms, this space felt cold and isolated. These souls, Jesus said, have not yet chosen to accept love and healing. But watch closely. I saw beings of light tirelessly extending love and compassion to these souls, never giving up. This is true divine love, Jesus said. It never forces, never condemns, but also never abandons. Every soul, no matter how lost, will eventually find their way back to love. It's not a matter of if, but when. Jesus then shared something crucial about Earth's current state. Humanity is at a turning point, he said. The choices being made now will determine much about the future. But remember, free will is absolute. The future is not set in stone. He showed me potential futures, some filled with harmony, where humanity had learned to live in balance with each other and nature, guided by love and wisdom. Others, however, were marked by suffering and destruction caused by humanity's choices. The key is love, Jesus said. Not just abstract love, but love in action. Every act of kindness, every moment of forgiveness, every choice for peace over conflict shapes the future, not just for individuals, but for humanity as a whole. Jesus then revealed something that filled me with awe, the interconnected web of existence. I saw how every soul is connected to every other soul, how every action sends ripples through the entire fabric of creation. This is why forgiveness is so crucial, Jesus explained. When you forgive others, you heal not only yourself but also contribute to the healing of the universe. I saw how prayers and loving thoughts created patterns of light that directly affected the physical world. As people on Earth prayed for their loved ones, these prayers were received and answered by beings of light. Sometimes the answers came in unexpected ways, but no sincere prayer went unanswered. Before sending me back, Jesus gave me a mission. Tell them what you've seen, he said. Tell them that death is not the end, that every soul continues its journey, and that love is the most powerful force in existence. No one is ever truly lost. His final words left me shaken yet filled with purpose. The greatest illusion is separation. All souls, all beings, all of creation is connected in ways your earthly mind can barely comprehend. The love you give to others, you give to yourself. The harm you do to others, you do to yourself. This is why forgiveness and love are the forces that heal not just individual souls, but the entire fabric of existence. I felt myself being pulled back, and the last thing I heard was Jesus saying, "Remember, love is not just a feeling, it's a choice you must make again and again in every moment." Suddenly, I gasped awake on the hospital floor, surrounded by my colleagues. The defibrillator had just delivered its third shock. I hope this version aligns with what you had in mind. Let me know if you'd like any additional refinements. According to medical records, I was clinically dead for 5 minutes and 18 seconds. Yet, in that brief window of time, I experienced what felt like an eternity of profound revelations. Since that moment, I have been fundamentally transformed. I no longer fear death. Instead, I hold life in even greater reverence. I now view every individual as a soul on a unique journey, each deserving of love, compassion, and understanding. Our time on Earth is not just fleeting. It's an extraordinary opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve in ways that cannot be achieved in other realms. My work as a nurse has taken on a deeper and more spiritual meaning. When I look at my patients, I don't just see their physical conditions. I see their souls vivid and luminous, even amidst their struggles. I've come to understand that true healing goes beyond the body. It touches the very essence of the soul. Occasionally, in the right circumstances, I can even sense the presence of light beings, gentle guides offering comfort and support to both patients and caregivers. The most transformative truth I've discovered is this: those who have passed on are not merely at rest. They are actively evolving, growing, healing, and contributing to the shaping of existence in ways far beyond what we can imagine. The love that connects all souls never fades. It only deepens as we journey through the vast tapestry of existence. I share this story not to persuade anyone to adopt a specific belief system, but to offer hope and insight into the universal journey we all share. Regardless of whether my experience resonates with you, I hope you take away this one essential truth: love is the force that moves the universe. Every act of love, no matter how small, sends ripples through eternity, influencing and uplifting everything it touches. The departed are not truly gone. They are more alive than ever, participating in a grand cosmic evolution that transcends our earthly understanding. One day we will all grasp this truth. Until that day comes, our purpose is both simple and profound: to love more deeply, to forgive more freely, and to live with greater intention. Every choice we make shapes not only our own soul's path, but also the collective journey of all creation.